Hello and welcome to my channel, Making Crafts. Today I'm back with the Wee Folk Junk Journal Kit that I created, and I will link below to this kit that's in my shop. And I'm not going to create a full big journal with this one right now because I don't have enough time. I've got some other obligations for design teams and things that I have to do. So I wanted to create something with this kit right now. So I am going to be creating this mini journal. And this is the first time I've tried this, but we're going to try it with this one. Now, some of the papers, like this one, I printed on just regular copy paper with my laser printer. And then like this one is 32 pound. All of them were supposed to be the 32 pound paper, but I somehow got them mixed up in my printer because here's one that's not, and then the other two are in between it. So I'm thinking that somehow my papers have gotten mixed up in my printer because I like to leave just the regular copy paper in my printer so that when my children or husband print receipts and things, they don't waste my good paper, but somehow it's all got mixed up. So I'm just going to be using both on this, and we're also going to be using a paper bag, and this paper bag measures 11 by 8.5. Well, I'm not counting this little thing right here, so it's really 11 3/4 if you count the little flap here, but I'm not going to be using that, so I'm not counting it. So when you look this bag up, I think you should be looking up an 11 by 8 bag, or 8.5. And I'm pretty sure I got these off Amazon, and mine has wrinkled because I have a whole stack of these, and they were in a cabinet and they got wrinkled because I have way too many things in there. So I think we can get the wrinkles out. That it's going to be okay. So I'm thinking here, I think I'll just fold this to the inside of the bag for now, and then I can glue it later once I decide what I want to do with it. I'm thinking that's how I'm going to do that. And we'll just press that down and get my bone folder. And just press. Oops. We'll just press that down like that. So my thoughts were that I was going to collage the front, but I've changed my mind. What I'm going to do first is I think I'm just going to cover the front with some of the papers. But I want to figure out, I want to fold my bag first so I can figure out what's my front and how much I have for the front and how much I have for the other parts. So let's just see here. I think I want to go about 4. That's about 4.5. Maybe I want to go 4 1/4 for the front. So let me see if I can get back on camera so I can show you. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 right there. So maybe we do it. Let's see here. That's about 4 1/4. It's not going to be exact. It's just an estimated size that I wanted to use. So that's about 4 1/4, and I'm trying to get that straight. And then I'm going to take, so this side is going to fold over like this, and then this side will wrap around. So it's going to be like a little wraparound journal. I do believe that's how I'm going to do it. You could even do it like this, but I think I want this to wrap around it. So let me just score that with my, I think this is called a stainless steel. It's a Craft Tool Pro, and a lot of people ask me about this in the comments, and this is really for leather working. We have a leather shop, and so I bought an extra one of these for my crafting when we got one for the leather. I really like the weight of it and how it presses down. You don't have to, put a lot of pressure, and so I like this one. I like the feel of it. So here is our journal. So what we're going to do now is let's start covering the front. So I'm just going to tear my papers down to the size needed, but first I need to get my white edges off. My printer does not print edge to edge. Well, my laser printer doesn't. My inkjet does, but my inkjet is covered with a bunch of papers right now. I really need to clean my office. So I didn't print them on my inkjet, which most of the time when I make a journal, I print them on my laser. I do have my inkjet so I can check the prints when I make them like this, and so I will have to print this one out on inkjet so I can show you what it looks like. But I had so much fun making this kit. Some of the backgrounds and stuff I created myself, and then I've used images and things that are that I have copyright to. So you do have to have where you pay for. I pay for a membership so that I can use these bits and pieces. But I really enjoyed creating these. I don't always enjoy being on the computer. I just have to be in the right mood. And so when I made this one, I really did enjoy it. I'm trying to decide, I think I want this on the front. And I think I'm gonna go right in here. Give that butterfly just a little bit of room. And try to tear as straight as possible. And then I do want some of the brown bags showing around it. So I'm gonna tear a little bit more off of this end and off the bottom. And I apologize for the noise in the background. That is my dog clawing my rug. Hold on just a second. Roxy, stop. Stop and sit down. And it drives me crazy because I have new rugs in here and I'm so afraid she's gonna tear them up doing that. I don't know why she does that. It's like she's digging. I guess it's just a natural instinct of a dog, but she makes a lot of noise with it too. So there we go. I like that. So I'm just, and then I'm going to layer up some more, but that's what I'm going to put on the front there. And maybe I'll just continue with this right here. I do need to straighten that up just a little right there, I think. And that would be the back side. And let's see. I think that'll be okay. Because I was going to collage, but like I said, I decided, ooh, do I want to cut my butterfly off? Or would I rather cut the mushroom off? Let's just see. Let's just tear it right here and see. Decisions. So I think what I'll do is I'll have to cut. Do I want to do that or do I want to just cut into the butterfly? I think I like cutting the mushroom off better than the butterfly. So let's see here. And if it don't work out, we'll just pull out another sheet and try it. Thinking that's where I want there. And then this one here. We'll save these scraps because we may do some collaging. And then for the wraparound, so that'll be your back. And so this is the front here. And then this is going to wrap around. So you're not even going to see that butterfly there anyway till you open up. Now I'm trying to think how I want to do that. Kind of like that though. Let me look through the papers. That's going to keep it kind of plain, but that's okay if it is. That's going to get cut off quite a bit. So we're going to have, let's see how much is going to get cut off to decide. We're going to lose pretty much all of those mushrooms. So I don't want to do that. I'm just going to go through the papers real quick and see if, and I do have a complete flip through of this kit on another video and I can link to it. And I'll try to link to it below. Maybe I do it like this. I don't like that. I want to do it differently. So, and I don't want to cut into some of the critters and things. I'm trying to see which one I want for my front. How would that look on the front? Or I think I'm going to go in and tear, well, kind of like that. Let me tear the white edge off and let's go from there. So this is a piece that wound up on copy paper instead of the 32-pound paper. So it's a little thinner. It's a little bit more difficult for me to tear, like right there. Got a little crooked. I think I want him is what I want on there. And I honestly have lost my tearing ruler. I used it when I was crafting with a friend this week. I saw it on the counter and I went to clean it up and I don't know where I laid it when I cleaned it up. I have no idea. So I'm gonna have to figure out where I laid it now. So let's see how that looks. I can always go back and print more if I mess up. So we will see. It's just a little strip we need there on the front. Okay. Set that aside. I'm gonna set all these papers aside too. I've got a mess here now. Let's start getting messy. All of these sheets. So let's see. If we had this here, then we would have the butterfly showing on the front. But then there's going to be two things. I don't like that. So let's try this. And I could just bring in the background paper for the front if I wanted to. So we have that. I kind of like that. And then we have this on the back. So let's go ahead and glue that down and let's just see how it looks, and then we can continue to layer up if we want. I'm trying to think, do I want any book page behind it, or do I just want the brown showing behind it? That's a good question, but I have no idea which way I want to go. I think I'm just going to leave the brown behind it, and then I may even ink around it, because I do want to ink this paper as where you've got the white edges where I tore, so I am going to ink that as well. I think I'm going to use my ground espresso for this. And this ruler that I'm using here is one my husband made on our laser, and I'm not really sure. It's not a regular style ruler, I forget what it is, but I like how it tears the edges. It leaves a good little edge on it. Kind of a rough edge, but it grabs the ink so good. I like that look. And it's just acrylic is what it's made from. I'm just lightly inking the edges. I don't want to grunge it up too much, but I do want a little bit of ink on it. I had planned on putting a pocket on the front, but now I'm really debating it because I had forgotten that I was going to have this flap coming around. So I'm not really sure that I want to put a pocket here, but I may still put one. So that would go there. Oops, you can't even see. I'm off camera. So that would go there, and then we have this, and then that's on the back. So we're going to glue that down, and then we will see what we're going to do next after that. So let's just do one thing at a time. I think this kit will be great any time of the year, but right now as we're going into spring, this one gets me excited about spring because I'm seeing all the outdoorsy things, and I've missed, you know, being outdoors and doing outdoorsy things since it's been so cold. I do not like the cold at all. I cannot stand to be out in the cold. I know some people love the cold. They like skiing and sledding and doing things like that. I just can't stand the cold. My body just, I don't know what it is, but I do not like it. It takes me forever to get warmed back up when I do get cold. So I stay inside a lot in the wintertime. And so let me see if that's going to line up right. That'll be fine. So I'm looking forward to spring and summer and getting out and sitting on my porch some and getting outside some. I just went out to walk the dogs a few minutes ago, and it's so cold out there. The wind chill is just so cold. It just feels like ice. And so we did have some warm days. We've had some warmer days this past month, but we're still having cold days. They're going to come and go like that. Now, I did tear this one down pretty small, but I don't mind those brown edges around it. I kind of like that look. So then here, I'm thinking of putting a pocket, but let me look at the pockets and see if we have any that'll be a good size for it. So I think I've already mentioned that this kit is really designed to just be a regular junk journal kit, your regular, when you use your 8.5 by 11 paper for your junk journal kits. So I didn't design this one for this small of a project, so I'm having to tear everything down. But I just wanted to show you a way that you could use this kit if you wanted to. And I just wanted to make a small little project. Didn't have the time to make something huge right now, so I thought, well, or a whole journal right now. So I thought this would be cute to make, and I've been wanting to try one of these anyway with the larger paper bag. I've made them with the smaller bags before, but I've never done one this size, so I wanted to try it, see how it turned out. So I thought this would be a good project for it, and I thought the colors in this kit go really well with the brown paper bag. Now you could cover if you're using different paper, you could cover the bag with some book page or something that matched your kit that you were using. some either, just maybe even some paper behind it that matched if the brown doesn't go. But I have so many of these in my cabinet, and I love using, I don't know what it is about using paper bags, but I love using paper bags. So I have all different sizes because you can get them fairly inexpensive from Amazon. The only problem is you have to buy so many, and so I've had them for years and I have to come up with projects to use them. I'm kind of thinking this pocket, I don't know yet. Kind of thinking it would be cute. I'm terrible at folding pockets. I'm thinking it would be cute right there. And you would see the little bunny a little bit, unless I put it, let's fold up the pocket and let's just see where we think it would go. If it will go. If not, we'll try this deer one as well. It may fit better. Okay, and then we're going to just fold this over. And there are lines to guide you, but they are very light. And so you have to be look really close for them, but because I didn't want it to take away from the pocket, and I just folded mine a little wrong there, so let me get it folded correctly. There we go. And I just wanted some different pockets in this one. I got glue on my fingers already. So I wanted to make some different pockets for this journal. So if we put that there, how would that look? You can't see the whole bunny's face though, can you? And then this one, it's going to be the deer sticking out. Let's try this one too. I'll use the pocket somewhere in this anyway. I'm going to use pockets on the inside, so we will see. Once we get through decorating the outside, I'll show you what I'll plan to do for the inside. Okay, I did ink around here. I like to ink that after I cut out a pocket. Let me clean up some of this paper. So let's fold this one up and see what it looks like, and then we'll decide. We'll audition and see which one we like the best. Now, this one has lines too, but they're very faint. And I have them like that because I didn't want them to take away from the images on it. So you just have to look closely for those lines. And you can kind of tell with where they are compared to this little bottom flap that you cut out. So that will help you too. Just fold this up. And then we have it like that. Now you could print on the back side so you didn't have this stark white. So since I didn't, I think I'm just going to take my ink and ink a little and see if I like that. If I don't, I'll slide a piece of paper down in there and glue it. I kind of like that. So either this one or this one. I'm thinking it's going to be this one. And there you can just see part of the deer, but at least his little head's not cut off. I am going to ink this. And then I'm going to find a piece of the scrap that we had left over, and I'm just going to slide this down in here and glue it in if it'll fit. I'm trying to see if it will. I think it will. So let's just cut that off squared so that it don't look odd with our pocket. And let me see how short I need to make it so that it's... Okay, cut just a little bit off the bottom here. And I do have to glue my pocket shut. I'm just trying to... See, I think that looks pretty good to have it in there. I may even have that butterfly showing, so I'm going to trim just a little off so I can have the butterfly showing. Okay. Then once I get it the size I want, I'll glue it all up. So let's glue that up real quick. I was going to ink the back, but I just realized you're never going to see the back. It's going to be glued down, so we're not going to worry about inking the back. Got a little glue in there. Don't need to clean that up before it glues my pocket shut. There, we're going to glue that down. And then I'm just going to add glue to the back of this. And then I'll slide it down in that pocket just to give a background to that pocket instead of the white from the inside where I didn't print on the back side. Now, if you didn't want to do this part, you could just print on the back side. And sometimes I add a book page down in there, but I thought this butterfly looked really cute peeping out of there. And then we'll cut as a journaling card to go in that in just a moment. Not a journaling card, excuse me, a tag. Save that pocket for later. So we're just going to glue this one, I think, over to the side like this. I think that'll be cute. So let's just glue that pocket down. I am thinking, what if I made that pocket a pocket that slid this way? So I'm just going to glue along the bottom. Oops, I'm a messy gluer today. I can't glue a straight line for nothing. And then I'm just going to glue it down like that so that we can actually slide something in that way as well. I love making all kinds of pockets on my journals. And I'll probably come back and ink around the bag. I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking that's what I'll do. But I'm not going to make you sit through that right now. I'll just do that on my own. So like this. So now, I feel like I want a little something there. Just looking. I may have to come back later with a label or something. We'll see. Okay. Now, that's pretty. Let's open this up. So this is going to be a pocket here. So I will line this with some paper as well, I think. But I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'm just gonna work on the inside. So for the inside, I'm thinking that I want it to be one solid piece across. So I could either do this, just using the background paper to keep it simple, or I was thinking, oh, I just cut that one up that I was thinking of using. I was thinking about using the one that was a collaged sheet. So I'm thinking, let's use this one in here. And I'm just going to try to tear the edges, tear the white off the edges, and then that way we don't have any of the white on it, and it'll have the torn edges like the outside. And then I've got to go looking for my tearing ruler, because I'll be honest, I don't tear as good with this one as I do my tearing ruler. I don't seem to hold this one down as good or something. There we go. See, when I get to the top there, I mess up every time, so I'm going to fix that though. Just not holding this ruler down tight, I don't think. There we go, that was better. So let's just tear a little bit here. That's okay. And then right in here, let me see if I can tear that off. Well, there we go. It's not too bad, it's okay. Make sure we got this right side up, and then we're just going to glue this in like this. And actually, I think I may have to tear it out. It's not going to go far enough because I have to tear the white off of mine. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to straighten this edge up anyway because it's driving me crazy. And then I'm going to use this here. I'm just looking at the line in my bag where to tear again. And then I'm going to use it on this side as well. So I'm going to straighten that up if I can. And then, let's see, it's going to be going here. Now you don't have to tear yours. If you prefer, you can just cut yours with your paper trimmer. There's no reason you have to tear it. I'm just tearing it because I like that look. Now what do I want to put right here? I am thinking this is going to go right there. So let me tear it down. so I think this is how I'm going to lay it out. I'm just going to have this one here, this one in the center, which it looks like I may need to tear down. No, it's there. I thought it was on the line. And then this one here. But I think I've got it upside down. There we go. Kind of like that on the inside. And I know it looks a little weird, but we're going to have a pocket here too, so a lot of this is going to get covered up anyway, and then we're going to be putting our little journal in here. So I'm just going to glue this down, and I'm going to ink it, and then I'll glue it down. Okay, so I tried to speed up the inking, and that way you didn't have to sit through that. I know it takes a while to ink all these pieces, so now I'm just going to glue this down. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to complete this all in one video. We will see. I may have to come back to make the mini journal in another video. Depends on how much time it takes, because if I have too long of a video, my internet just won't let me upload it. So I have to do them in small segments. So we will see what we can get done. And it's already been almost 30 minutes, so let's see if we can get most of it completed. Now, if you do not like things being wonky and everything, you can just cut all this straight and it wouldn't look like this. But I just wanted this wonky kind of look. So here we are. So now I'm just going to add a pocket. I don't know which one's where. I do want some pockets inside. I'm just going to have to decide which ones I want. So let me cut the pockets out and I'll be right back. So I've gone ahead and cut out several of the pockets that's in the kit, as well as some of the tags, and I need to back the tags. And then I tore out this piece because I realized that I want to line this pocket here with something right there on the edge so that it has a little bit of thickness to it, but also a little decoration. So I'm going to add that. And I also found, I stopped for supper and I found my tearing ruler. So I can most of the time tear better with this ruler. So since this is going to be the edge that is showing, I'm just going to trim it off again and see if I can get it straighter. The other ruler, I'm struggling still. The other ruler I was really struggling with, but now maybe I'm struggling with all the rulers today. There we go. There's days like that. I've had a lot of crafting days like that lately. I wonder, do you ever have days like, weeks like that? I'm having months where my crafting, I just am not happy with the stuff I make, or I'm just making mistakes and things like that. So I'm just having, I don't know what you would call it, but I've been struggling with some of my crafting days. But I hopefully could get this project completed and I'll like it. Seems like lately I've finished projects and I'm not happy with them. I don't know if I'm just being too picky lately or if I'm just the mood that I'm in, or if it really is that bad. So I'm just going to glue that inside there, and I'm trying to decide if I want some of it showing or not. I think I do. I think I want some of that edge showing. So I'm just going to add glue to it and then slide it inside of this pocket. I'm just going to try to line it up as straight as I can so it's not crooked on the edge there. Leave just a little bit of edge of the bag showing as well. And then I was taking a look at this. I wasn't totally happy with the looks, and I'm not sure still if I want to change it now or not. But I'm thinking about coming in with some washi along the edge here. So what I was thinking was bringing in this, let me cut it straight. Bringing in some of this kind of green washi, and I still didn't cut it straight. Let me see here. I'm trying to decide if I just want to run it along the edge here or all the way from the top to bottom. Let's try it at the top here. So I just want to run it here and see. Probably need to add some glue to it, but I'm thinking about just finishing off that edge there with it. So let's go back and add some glue to this washi, or I'll just add a little glue, just a bead of glue down through here, and that will hold it down. Just a little something to hold it. I'll run 2 lines. And then I'll just, excuse me, I'll just be sure that I cover those, that 2 lines of glue. So then I'm just going to let it hang off, and I will trim the excess. Try to make it straight. As straight as I can. And then I'm just going to trim it. Oops. And then I'm just going to fold it over. And hopefully, oh yes, I was going to say hopefully it reaches the paper on the back side. It almost didn't, but it does. Thank goodness. Oops, you don't even see, I was off camera. I was afraid that it wasn't going to reach the edge of this paper, but it does, so that's good. So I think I like that better. It just kind of adds something to it. I also pulled out some washi that I have that's like stamps, but it has mushrooms on it, and I got that from Amazon, and I'm wondering if it would be neat to put some on the front, and it may not. I may not keep it, but I was thinking, let me get it started here. I hadn't used it, so it's not good and started, so sometimes they are a little wonky when you get started and it's tearing off the edge. So let's see here. I wonder if I added a little, like down in here, and just folded it over, how that would look. Or should I put this washi along the edge here? That is a good question too. Maybe have both sides with washi. I think I do. I think I want to do that, and then we'll come back with this piece of stamp, with this little piece of washi. So I'm just going to once again run a thin line of glue, a thin line of glue along the edge here. You know, I forgot to put glue on the back side, so I'm going to do it here though. I'll have to go back on the other one and kind of fold it back and add it, because that washi tape is not a really tight washi. This is just some washi I've had for years. So let's see here how I'm going to add it. Just add it down through here. There we go. And this is just extras I'm adding. If you don't have washi, don't worry about it. You don't have to add it. You could just ink the edges, or you could just leave them plain, however you wanted to. And is that going to be too crooked there? I think it'll be okay. It is a little off. I didn't get it as straight as I would have liked, but I think that's fine. I don't think I'm going for perfection anyway. I'm just going for a little bit of adding some color to it. So that's a little off, but I think it's okay. And I think I'm going to add this piece of washi, but that looks like a stamp, and just wrap it around here, just adding a little bit more. And the cover may be getting too busy. I don't know. I kind of like that there. And then I think I want to put one, I've got one here of plants. Maybe that would go just right in here. It's got another little piece on it. Let me see if I can get that off. There we go. So that adds just a little bit more. And I don't know if we need something up here or not. I guess I could keep adding. So now, do I want to run some of that washi along that edge? I don't think so. So I do need to figure out a closure here, but I was looking here for the tag to go in this one. And I have tags that fit my pockets in the kit. So I was thinking that would look good. I think that's pretty because it's a lot of greenery. I also have tags that I made in another video. I kind of like that too, so I've just got to decide which one. Also, when we made this a pocket, I meant to make this a pocket and not a tuck spot, so I forgot to tell you to add glue at the top, and I didn't add glue at the top of mine either. So we just need to run a bead of glue at the top of our pocket. If you want to make yours a pocket and not a tuck spot, then you would just add a bead of glue. And I just wasn't thinking when I did that. And then I'll make a little something to slide in there. Now I did cut out some of these journaling cards, and I'm thinking of cutting it down so that it could fit in that pocket. Let's just see if we can get it down to the right size. I may have to pull out my paper trimmer. So I cut down one of the journaling cards so that, and here's the, I'll show you what size they are when they come. So when you get it in the kit, they'll be this size. But what I did was I just trimmed the journaling card down and added tabs to it. And I used my tab punch to punch out some tabs. And that way it can go in this front pocket. And now I want to add this tag. So I think this is the tag I want to add. So I'm going to have to back this tag with something as well. So I will do that later, but let's just add it for now so we can see what it will look like. So I have that tag there. And then we're going to open it up, and we need to work on the inside. So the first thing I want to do is figure out, I think this pocket will go here in the center, and then I'm going to layer up 2 pockets here. And I apologize for the noise in the background. My dogs are, you can hear their nails on the floor, they're playing, and they're a little noisy, but it's that time of evening where they get a bit rowdy. So this pocket, let me get back on camera. I was trying to fold it. So you can see the lines here. I've got them really faint on all my pockets, the lines are, so that it kind of blends in. Just in case you don't fold it right, it's not going to stand out. Or that's my hopes anyway, because I'm not always perfect at folding these pockets. So I don't like them to have a lot of lines that show. And if they do, some of them do have the dotted lines that will show. And if it does, all you have to do is just ink them. But I do try to go kind of thin with the lines and faint so that they don't show as much. So this one just folding over. So let me glue that one shut. Then we'll just fold this over here, and then we'll glue that shut there. So I'm thinking of taking these pockets and just layering them, you know, one up here and one down here like that. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. And when I don't fold the pockets totally right, I just trim the edges off like that because I'm just not perfect at folding them sometimes. So it's no big deal. Now I do think I don't like the stark whiteness of the inside, and I didn't print on the back side of my pages, so I am going to add, I think I will line these with something. I don't know if I want to line them with book page though, or if I want to line them with paper from the kit. I do have a book page over here from a nature journal. Just trying to decide if that would work. I just want to see what it looks like. I can just trim it down and see. It's really just a scrap piece. Let's just lay this here. So it needs to be about right there. Slide it in. Let's see what that looks like. I kind of like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's see what the other side. The other side's plain. So yeah, we want to put this side in. So I'm just going to do it like that. So I'm going to do one more. Just do the same thing. I just fit it down in here. And then what I do is I see where it comes to, and I just pull it up just a little bit, and I trim just a little extra off. think it could go either way. For some reason my eye likes it like this, so that's how I'm going to add these. And now I've got to decide if I want to put these as a pocket so I can slide something in them, in on the side too. I think I will. So I'm just going to add glue at the top, down the side, and across the bottom. And I'm going to leave one side open. So each one I'm going to leave different sides open. So this one, I'm leaving the right-hand side open. And then on this one, I'm going to leave the left-hand side open. So that way we have room to slide something in. So I'm going to leave that side right there. So we're just going to glue the top, bottom, and side. And then we'll just attach that to our page. There we go. That one might need to be slid down just a little. So we want to make sure our tags will go in there and not hang outside of our book. So there we go. I have a tag for each one. I thought these would look cute with the butterflies sticking out. And I will back those in just a moment. Since I didn't, sometimes I print it on cardstock and so I don't have to back it, but since I didn't print it on cardstock, I will go ahead and back it. So I love how that looks. So now let me put this pocket together really quickly, and then we will try to see what it looks like in the book. Now for this pocket, I'm going to glue down the two sides and the bottom, and I'm going to leave the back open so that if I wanted to slide something down in it, I could, but I don't have to. It's just that it would be nice to have a little space. So then I'm just going to try to center it up at the bottom here and just add it right there. So I like that. So now you got a pocket there, and I should have lined this. I may go back and line it with another book page. I'll have to think about that while I'm working on it. So now it's time to add our little journal in. So let's pull our pages together and make the journal. So I'm just going to pull all the pages that was left over where we've been making the folder, and this is what's left over. And I need to measure what size I want my journal. So I think the journal, let's see, this is measuring 8.5 by 4.5. So I think I'll make my journal 8 by 4. That'll give it some extra room in there. So when I fold these pages, let me set this aside. I need to make sure that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to fold it about right there. And I'm sure if it goes over just a little, it's going to be okay. So let's see if that's 4. Close enough. And then just press that down. And then this one, instead of cutting it off, I think I will just fold it in. I wonder if that's going to look okay, though, folding that little guy. Folding him. It may be okay. So I'm just going to fold it like that. If I don't like it, I can always cut it off later. So I'm going to do the same thing to all these. I'm going to go through and just measure and fold them at 4 by 8. And I'll have to cut it down to 8. So I'm just going to do my folding, and I'm going to fold each one at So I've gone ahead and gathered up some of the pages. So I folded, as you saw, I folded the digitals that I had already printed out that was left over from the kit. And then I've just went through and added some book pages and things. So I just try to find things that go with the theme or go along with the colors. And so I thought, since this is a woodland theme, you know, that any greenery would go. And so then I've added some tea stain or coffee stain. I don't remember which one this is. Paper to it, and then I've added some notebook paper. I've added just like a little field guide page, And then I've added another nature notebook. I thought that this went good because it looks like the forest things. I do not like this image, so we're going to cover that up in just a moment. And then this is another digital, some more of that nature book page, some notebook paper, and then I have this image, and I thought that looked really good. I thought it looked like the woodland theme as well, so that's going to be the center of my book. That one I'm okay with the images, the little bullfrog or the little amphibian, so I'm okay with that. Then we've got the back side. So anything that I'm not okay with, I'm probably going to cover. I'm just looking through. This I think I'm going to leave as a fold out. Some of these that I folded over, I am going to make into a pocket. I may trim that down and make it into a pocket as well. And probably add something to that page. So I'm not going to add a lot of pockets and things to this. This is really just going to be a writing journal or a journal for somebody else to add to. And then I'm going to fix the closure. So let's go ahead and work on some of the pages, and then I'll sew it in. So I thought for this front page it was a little plain, so I'm just going to take this journaling card that came in the kit, or comes in the kit, and I'm just folding it in half. And I think I'll just tear it now. Well, no, I'll cut it so that all the edges are smooth. And then I'm just going to tape it onto the page to decorate the page up. And so I really like this washi tape that I pulled out. I think it's really going well with this kit. So I'm just going to add a little washi tape to it. Just tape it in here on the corner there. And then on this corner here. I kind of like how that looks. So let's take the washi tape right back off so we can glue it. I think I want this corner instead, and then this corner down here at the bottom. Now if you have washi tape it's really sticky, you can't try it out like this, but this one is not that sticky, so I think that it'll be fine. Well, I'm not sure now how I want to tape it in, but we are going to glue it down too. So that'll be, we'll see. Let's just glue this down and then we'll add our washi tape. The washi tape is really just for decoration because the glue will hold the little hold this card down. Now this is just on 32-pound paper, so it's not going to bulk up the page too much. I don't want to bulk this one up too much because there's not a lot of room for it to grow, so I don't want it to start out too full. And maybe I just put one piece of washi like that's holding it on. I've got a vision, but it's not looking like I wanted it to. So I think I'll just put the one washi like that's what's holding it on, because I kind of like that. Or I could do the washi on the sides here. I don't like that either. I'm getting kind of picky now. It's getting late at night, so it gets like that for me. I'm going to have to glue these once I get it figured out. I think just one holding it on. Tell you what if this is here, and then I bring in some of this mushroom washi. Oops, that one tore. That's what I don't like about some of this washi. It's so hard to get loose, but I wonder if it's where it's so old. I've had this one for quite some time now, and I've just never used it, and I wonder if it's just getting old and that causes that. So let's just take this one here, kind of stick it there. Okay, kind of like that. And then I'm going to glue this one as a pocket. Got a little glue there. So I'll just glue at the top and the bottom so it can be a tuck spot. Then I'll sew this in. But I was just going to go through and do some of the things that I wanted to do to it before, just adding these thinner pieces in. So what if on this page we fold it in half and we add it there as a journaling spot. So then you would just open it up to journal on it. I'm going to have to even it up now because when I folded it, I folded it not totally in half. I do think I want to ink it. I should have inked the other one that I put on the other page. I wasn't thinking. So then maybe just putting it like my little sponge is coming off, all the pieces is coming off of it. So what would that look like? Maybe just stuck down in there. Maybe like that. I said I wasn't going to decorate this one up much because this is supposed to be just a writing journal, so I really didn't want to overdo it with things in it. So I could just stick it in like that. There we go. And then I think I'll leave these pages plain. I had thought about stenciling them or stamping them, but I think I'm going to leave most everything plain. I was just trying to, like this, I don't like this. I want to cover that up. It's just a bird of some sort, but I just don't like the image. So I'm just going to find something to put there. So to bind this journal, I am going to be sewing it to the paper bag using some jute, and I am pulling off some extra string this time because I want to have quite a bit left over hanging off of the ends when I get done so that I can wrap it around the journal, and I'll show you in just a moment how I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to use my regular way of sewing journals together, the three-hole punch version, where I'm just going to have the 3 holes, but normally I start sewing on the inside of the journal, but for this one I'm not. So let me show you what I'm doing first. So I'm going to start out by just paper clipping my journal together. I'm finding that using these large paper clips lately works better than using the binder clips. In the past I've used binder clips, but they're very, the ones I have are very chunky and very heavy, and so sometimes they get in the way. So I'm finding that these paper clips make it a lot easier to hold your journal together. So then I'm just going to add it to the spine of my paper bag, and then I'll slowly remove some of the paper clips and attach it to the bag itself and to the folio itself. And I do feel like this held it a lot easier for me to sew it together than when I used the binder clips. Now, I haven't tried these with some of my larger journals. I've just started using the paper clips to do this, and so I'll just have to see as I go along if it works with the larger journals. So now I'm just going to eyeball my holes. I never measure them, and so I'm just going to eyeball the center of my journal, and I'll punch a hole, and then I'll come back in, and I will just eyeball about an inch, inch and a half from the bottom, and punch my other 2 holes, one at the bottom and one at the top. And you've probably seen this done repeatedly if you've seen any of my journals or anybody else sewing their journals. Most everybody uses this method to sew their basic journals together. But typically I start sewing from the inside, and that means that when you finish off, you will be tying it on the inside. But I don't want this one tied on the inside. I want it tied on the outside. So I'm just going to start in the center hole on the outside and go in towards the inside, and I'm sewing just the same, just when I normally, would start at the inside and go out. So you do the same thing, but just backwards, from the outside in. And that way, when you finish up sewing, you will have your strings left over on the outside instead of the inside. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this twine or this jute to as a closure for my journal as well. So I'm just going to tighten all of my strings here like you normally do, and then I'm going to tie a couple of knots into the twine so that it doesn't come loose and it holds my book together. Now, as you can see here, if you've not sewn a journal together before, and this is if you're a beginner, when you come out of the middle hole, you want the string, one on each side of the string that's going down the spine. So here is the completed paper bag folio journal, and I went ahead and bound this one with some jute twine, and I also just added an eyelet here on the front flap and brought the string through the eyelet and tied a little bow. Now, if you don't like adding eyelets, you could just finish the spine off like this, and then just wrap this around and tie it. You wouldn't have to go through an eyelet. So all I did was I just left a lot of extra string on my binding, and instead of tying a bow, I just tied a couple of knots, and that way I can wrap this around my bag. And so here's a little tag I made several weeks ago, and I haven't showed the video yet, but there is a video coming out with these tags. And so I decided to go ahead and use that tag in this pocket, and then we have this little folder we made together in that pocket. And we have our pockets here with the tags, and I can't remember. So I'm doing this outro a week or so later, so I can't remember what I showed you already in the video, but I wanted you to see the completed journal. So there are the tags. And then I did go through and add some washi tape and these little images from the kit onto some of the pages. I did go ahead and add another one of these tags to the journal. And that was the pocket I showed you how I folded over. So here I added some journaling spots just with some washi tape to the page. And I know in the video I was telling you that I wanted to cover one of the pages up. I'm trying to find it. Here it is. So what I did was just those birds I didn't like. So what I did was I just washi taped down another one of the journaling cards, folded in half, and then add washi here. And it's not even glued down. I just used the washi to hold it down, and that covers it up. But you also have a journaling spot and just a little flip out there. And I try to keep this journal pretty simple. There is not any, a lot of pockets or tags like I normally do, because I wanted this one to be just a writing journal and a blank journal ready for whoever wants to decorate it up, can decorate it up. Now I did add a little washi tape here and this paper, and I think I did glue this one down, and that's just to add some more journaling spot and some interest to the page, since it was just wording on that page. And I don't think I did much of anything else to the journal, just some flip outs here and the book pages and things. And then we have the pocket here with one of the journaling cards from the kit. And that is the little paper bag folio journal. And we do have a pocket here. And I did just go ahead and put one of the little envelopes from the kit in the pocket, but you could put all kinds of things in that pocket. So I'll show you how I tie it shut. I just pull the string. Oh, I did tie a knot in the end of each string just so it wouldn't unravel. And that way, as I'm pulling it through here, it doesn't unravel the string. And then I just pull it through that little eyelet and tie bow. So I am very pleased with how this turned out, and I will link below to this paper set that I created. It will be in my Etsy shop now, so I will link to that. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.